Well, another episode of Moon Knight, except there was no Moon Knight. I think in the entirety of the series, you probably have less than 10 minutes of Moon Knight. And even that's not really Moon Knight. So, Mark Spector got shot, so he's in the realm of the dead, but he keeps shifting in and out of fantasy worlds of being in an asylum or on this boat that refers to, ancient Egyptian mythology about how you go into the realm of the dead and get judged, and if your heart's lighter than a feather, you get to go to heaven or what have you and all that. So that's the situation he finds him in with the hippopotamus, who apparently is supposed to be based on an ancient Egyptian goddess, but is more based on one of the characters from the New Zoo Review. Remember that show? So she's just there to be goofy and silly, because Marvel's in the comedy business. So they're on the boat floating through the desert, and if you don't make it, you get thrown off the boat into the desert, and you become a sand sculpture apparently. But Mark and Steven weren't going to accept that, so they fight off the sand zombies coming to retrieve them. But Steven doesn't make it. No. So he's, I guess he's a sand zombie. But it's okay, because the big reveal is that he never existed. You see, he was created by Mark Spector. So at least they got one thing right, is that Mark Spector is the original personality character. That's who Moon Knight really is. It's Mark Spector. And the reason he created Stephen Grant, which turns out, yes, was a name apparently in this story, not in the comic book, based on this cheap 80s ripoff of Indiana Jones. So it turns out Mark Spector's mother was just a heartless bitch, which that's surprising that it's not his dad that mistreated him. So, gotta give him props where it is. This is not attacking fatherhood per se. It's just his poor dad just couldn't do much about this. It's kind of like over in the Star Trek Picard show. It reveals that his mother was just absolutely nuts. Now, she wasn't as cruel as Mark Spector's mother, but still, that's an interesting thing to notice. So I'll give him that. But good God, this being stuck in dream worlds, and my past, and the big reveal. So what happened? So Mark had a brother, and they went playing, and his little brother got killed, and he, so his mother blamed him for it. And he was a little boy, could not have saved his brother. These things happen. And not only is he broken with the guilt over the death of his brother, but his mother punishes him forever, to the point that he creates an alternate personality in the form of Stephen Grant. And that's what he did. It's odd how they presented it in the memories and whatnot, because the idea was the Stephen Grant personality knew nothing of how terrible their mother was. And all that. He thought she was just a fine lady, and didn't know she was dead. She had died years ago, and kept talking to her on the phone, but that was all in his head. And yet, at the moment of his creation, she storms into his room to beat the crap out of him. And Mark didn't want to put up with that, so he hid behind the Stephen Grant personality. So you would think it would be the other way around, that Stephen was the one who bore the brunt of being beaten by his domineering mother. But whatever. So Mark was trying to stop him from finding out the truth or whatever, But he did, and so there's the big, just colossal waste of time. What is this superhero about? What's he supposed to be doing? Oh, that's right, stopping the Egyptian goddess of death, or whatever she is, Amenet. But I mean, it's already won. Apparently, some of the souls were appearing in the realm of the dead, and that was because of Dr. Harrow and Aminat. So I don't know. I guess he lost. So there's only one episode left, I think. Man, this is terrible. So Steven's gone. Mark's but Mark withstood the trial of the scales because his heart was pure or whatever. So he gets to go back to life, despite the bullet holes. And but he doesn't have the suit or powers or nothing, so he's gonna have to depend on Layla to go free Khonshu to turn him back into Moon Knight. But what do you want to bet? That Khonshu is going to turn Layla into the Moon Knight. Yeah. Layla's not even a character from the comic books. Mark Spector's true love was a woman named Marlena, or Marlene. Gee, I'm always forgetting that one. But yeah, that's who it was, some blonde lady. But in this one, it's Layla. And Frenchie's not there. But I guess because he's too close to Alfred, so they didn't want him in there. I don't know. This isn't Moon Knight. It almost looked like it, and of course they were basing the design off of Alex Ross's design of Moon Knight for the Earth X series, which was all very brief as far as Moon Knight goes. But Alex Ross would always do that. He says, "Oh, this is some future version of him," and he redesigns all the costumes of the superheroes and stuff. Some of them are pretty cool, and some of them are, well, it's interesting. But anyway, that gave him the idea about using all the mummy themes for Moon Knight, and Egyptian god and everything, and that's fine. But he's barely there, and there's almost no relation to the Moon Knight comic book, which was primarily a street level vigilante guy with this background of Egyptian mysticism, which would pop up from time to time, but it was never really the whole core of the series. So this could have just been any character. It didn't really matter, and apparently doesn't, because I don't think they're doing another season. Maybe if the numbers were overwhelming, but I'm guessing it wasn't, because, man, it was intriguing at the outset, and I wonder where they're going, and then just several episodes of the same thing, more or less. So, yeah, that's it. It's just really bad. Still, the worst of the D+ shows remains Falcon and Winter Soldier. But as it stands, I thought this one had the shot to be the best, just if it was just a basic Moon Knight story, which it isn't. But no, I guess hard to believe. I think Hawkeye is the best one they've done. Imagine that. There were some contenders that could have been, WandaVision probably would have been if they'd have left it alone, And Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been the best, but they had that terrible ethic of a superhero feeling sympathy for a mass murderer. Yeah, man, what a mess. So yeah, I guess you got to give it to Hawkeye. And that one What If episode, the cartoon with Doctor Strange, that's easily the best of all of it. So there's that. Oh, well, just look up some Moon Knight comics. That'll be for the best. Those are far superior than any of this crap.